I really don't. Trust me. I've tried.
So she wants to meet. Why? Temple leaned in closer and said in a near whisper,
The FBI has tried to make some inroads at my company, finding a mole, a spy there to help them.
Nash let his jaw go slack. The FBI? Jesus, Mr. Temple, I didn't sign up for this.
Then you shouldn't have come.
Both men looked up to see Ryder standing in the aisle, scowling at them.
In fact, as I made very clear, I did not want you to come.
Nash glanced at Temple before saying, As his personal security guard, I insisted on coming because I was concerned with Mr. Temple's safety. But frankly, I might have declined if I had known all the facts. Ryder gave Temple a withering look.
And now that you have been provided some facts, we will see what happens when we arrive in Hong Kong.
She walked back to her seat. Temple glanced at Nash.
Dylan, I'm sorry you got caught up in all this. I really am.
He returned to his seat, where he closed his eyes and started taking deep, calming breaths. Nash looked out the window, his heart heavy, but his spirits coalescing around a possible opportunity. Well, Nash, this might be the end of you. But if I go down, I'm taking others with me. Starting with Victoria Steers. Chapter 2. A man was waiting for them in the airport with Lynn Ryder's name on an iPad. He led them to a large Mercedes passenger van in the parking garage. There were 4 men there in addition to the driver. Nash could see that all of them were armed. After their bags were loaded in, they were driven off. One sturdy guard sat on either side of both Nash and Temple. They passed through a tunnel under Victoria Harbor and emerged into daylight on the other side. After negotiating a series of surface roads, they reached a high-rise building in the Hong Ham neighborhood, which was located in the southeast section of Kowloon Peninsula. Nash recognized the area because he had stayed nearby on a previous trip while working for Sybaritic. The Mercedes parked in the building's underground garage, and a minute later a glass elevator was carrying them skyward. Temple looked nervous, Ryder confident, and Nash, despite his anxiety level riding pretty high, did his best to appear calm. The doors opened directly into an entry vestibule where 2 armed men appeared. They efficiently searched Nash and Temple and promptly confiscated Nash's 2 guns and both men's phones. I want those back, demanded Nash. However, nothing was returned. They were escorted into a large room with floor-to-ceiling windows and sweeping views of the dazzling harbor. Ryder took a seat next to a large chair set in the center of the room, while Nash and Temple were directed to a pair of seats across from her. Nash's gaze took in every aspect of the room, especially the armed men. What Nash was observing was not good, since he had no weapons and the exits were guarded by men who did. And he was in a foreign land that was controlled by China. Your margin of error is basically 0. Then she came into the room. Prior to this, Nash had seen only a photo of Victoria Steers, briefly shown to him during a meeting with the FBI. Steers was the product of a Chinese mother and an English father. Tall and lean, with long black hair and porcelain skin, Steers glided across the floor, dressed in sleek dark clothing that covered all of her body except her neck, face, and hands. She carried no weapon and did not look particularly threatening. Yet at her appearance every hair stood up on the back of Nash's neck. There was an aura around the woman that was undeniable. It filled Nash with a sense of foreboding that something violently destructive could happen without warning. When he eyed Temple, Nash noted that his boss was staring at Steers with palpable fear. Steers smiled at Ryder.
Thank you, Lynn, for all your good work.
Of course, Miss Steers.
Then Steers looked at Temple.
Mr. Temple, introduce me to your colleague, whom you insisted accompany you on this trip, despite my objections.
Temple cleared his throat and said,
This is Dylan Hope, my personal bodyguard.
Your personal bodyguard? Do you have something to fear, Mr. Temple?
Everyone has something to fear, Miss Steers.
She glanced at Ryder before saying,
I also understand that...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.